feel again, oh now we find the right words to say to get us back on our way? Can we try to fight against the grain of throwing out what we made? The future's far away, but I will stay, because I feel again, I feel again, oh now I feel again, we're bringing this back to life, we're picking up where we left off and on again, we never quite could forget, 'cause what we got so intense. I feel it again, I feel it again, I feel it again, we're bringing this back to life.
Better off as strangers. Believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon, loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf, I'm a lone wolf, I'm a lone wolf, I'm a lone wolf, I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows, I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed, my heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
Alright, sorry about that, guys. I was finding articles. A little bit unprepared today. I'm surprised I'm actually doing the show. I decided to do a network update over the weekend. In my house. It didn't end well. It ended with holes in my wall and literally 2/3 of my network at home right down at the moment. So, I'm surprised I'm actually doing the show at all, to be honest. Back in a sec. In fact, the only thing in my house that's currently got network is this computer, the server rack, and the modem that connects the internet to the house. That's it. So... surprised I'm actually managed to do the show, to be honest, at all. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's jump into it, as we would say. Because we've got a little bit to cover. And it's not all good news. There's some bad news, but we'll get there. Now, apparently I'm also getting a postage delivery today. Woohoo! I've ordered 2 parts to build my big custom PC. So, yeah. I might have to do a live stream where I'm actually build a computer. Maybe I can use like The Verge for like reference notes and stuff. Alright. How are we going? Right, we ready? Right, yeah. Let's jump into it. Alright. Okay. Alright. So guys, obviously with the first story for the day, 10 shot, 4 killed at family gathering in Fresco, California. And we also have another shooting where husband shoots estranged his wife. That doesn't really make any sense. And her new boyfriend in the park lot of Oklahoma Walmart before turning the gun on himself. So let's deal with this one first, because this is the older story, and then we'll jump into the new one. So it's very likely that he was targeted. We just don't know why. Fresco Police Department Chief Michael Reed told reporters. So 10 men were shot, 4 of them fatally, during what police say was very likely a targeted shooting in the backyard football watch party in Fresco, California on Sunday night. Maybe one of the girlfriends wanted to watch Desperate Housewives or something. Police say some of the 35 to 40 family and friends were watching a football game in the southeast of the city when one or more people sneaked onto the property through a side access and began shooting. They did not appear to have actually entered the house, Fresco Police Department Chief Michael Reed told reporters. So, likely most of the women and children were inside. He said some of the survivors initially listed in critical condition are now in stable condition, according to police. 3 people, all Asian men between the ages of 25 to 30, died on the scene, Reed said during the overnight press conference. A 4th man died later at hospital. All those shot were between the age of 25 to 35. It's very likely that he was targeted. We just don't know why. He said somebody picked that house and came up for several shots times and shot several times on the back side of it. It's like they were targets. Look, at the end of the day, as for the reason, who knows? Could be anything. Could be drugs. Could be, him having a extramarital affair with some married woman, and they just happened to have the football game at the time, and who knows what the reason was. Obviously they'll get to it, but I don't think it's anything. I don't want to say not sinister, because it is, but it just goes to show, gun control in California not really working. But yeah, but that's obviously not the latest story. The latest one, or another shooting. Husband shoots estranged I don't get this title. Husband shoots estranged his wife and her new boyfriend in the parking lot of Oklahoma Walmart before turning the gun on himself when confronted with an armed bystander. Shouldn't this be husband shoots estranged wife? Why is there estranged his wife? I don't get that. But anyway, I don't get the title. I think there's a typo in it, but we'll keep going. A gunman shot and killed a man and a woman in the Walmart parking lot in Oklahoma before turning the gun on himself when an armed citizen intervened. According to the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, a man wearing all black opened fire outside the supercenter in Dakin, which located at 3393 North 81 Highway. Dakin is about 81 miles of Oklahoma City. Officers from the Dakin Police Department said that 3 dead, including 2 men and a woman. 1 man and a woman were found dead inside the car. Family members at the scene say the shooting was sparked by a domestic dispute between the husband and the wife, but didn't go any further details. According to local KOCO News, a witness claimed the shooter fired 9 rounds into the car, killing the 2 victims. When the gun was confronted by an armed citizen, he then turned the gun on himself. Goes to show, armed society does work, does it not? Look, at the end of the day, obviously they weren't able to stop the shooting itself, but God knows what would have happened after that. Shots rang out at Walmart just before 10 a.m. Monday morning. Authorities responded to the scene a short time later. Aerial footage from Reuters shows the police cornering off a large area of the parking lot. Police also seen looking at the red vehicle and appearing to have multiple bullet holes in the windshield. So, yeah, that happened apparently. No staff members were involved. Body saying next to the vehicle. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. Bit of a tragedy. You see the bullet holes there. So, obviously some guy doesn't like the fact that his wife's moved on and basically went through and started shooting it up. But, sucks, but, yeah. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, so Joe Biden probably just killed his re-election, or actually election campaign. Biden says he won't legalize marijuana because it may be a gateway drug. So, when they say you're going too far to the left, this is not what they're talking about, Joe Biden. Former Vice President Joe Biden defends his reasoning to not legalize marijuana on a federal level if elected president, saying it's not enough evidence as to whether or not it's a gateway drug. Speaking at Town Hall in Las Vegas on Saturday, the 2020 Democrat president candidate said the US should legalize cannabis on a federal level is still up for debate, as he still has some concerns. The truth of the matter is, it's not nearly been enough evidence that has been acquired as to whether or not it's a gateway drug, Biden says, according to the Business Insider. It's a debate. Sorry. It's a debate and I want more before I legalize it nationally. I want to make sure we know a lot more about the science behind it. Biden has said throughout his time on the campaign trail, he supports medical marijuana and insists possession of this substance should not be a crime. But he also said Saturday that he thinks the decision to legalize marijuana should be left up to individual states, which I could probably get behind. States should be allowed to make judgment about legalized marijuana, he said at the town hall. As for legalizing on a federal level, Biden says more research is to be needed. Look, at the end of the day, to me, sounds like a reasonable position to have. But that said, yeah, I don't know whether the far left Democratic Party is going to like this at all. Yeah, probably just killed his election campaign, probably, to be honest. I imagine there's going to be a lot of people upset over this, especially on the far left. Look, even, like, people in the US, the far left would consider me conservative, for the most part. Even me, for example, I'm saying that legalizing it on a federal level is not such a bad thing. Look, I get the argument, I really, really do. I think if you're going to legalize it in states, then maybe you should go through and legalize it federally. You know, that way, I think every country should have its own laws across the board. Right? I don't think that you should be able to go to one state that legalizes marijuana and then cross another state and it not to be legal. But, you know, like I say, he's sounding more conservative than I am at the moment. And, yeah. But obviously I'm not saying he is conservative or anything like that. I do find it interesting that he is taking this stance literally days after Obama had come out and accused the far left or the left of being too far left. So maybe he's taken some note from Obama and tried to reel it back. But yeah, look, I think this is going to hurt him. I really do think this is going to hurt him with the left, with the pro-marijuana crowd. Especially if Trump comes out and says, you know, yeah, we want to federalize it. We want to make it so that it's allowed federally. I reckon that's probably definitely going to hurt him. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright. So, I'm going to call this as probably fake news, but 70% of Americans say Trump actions tied to Ukraine were wrong. So this is done by a poll, and, well, we all know how much we love polls, especially on this channel. The overwhelming 70% of Americans think Donald Trump's request for a foreign leader to investigate his political rival, which sat at the heart of the House of Representatives impeachment inquiry, was wrong, according to a new ABC News poll finds. So already we can probably tell that this is going to be skewed towards the far left, right? It's ABC, that they're trying to run an agenda, so it's probably going to be far left. But let's have a look at the stats. Trying to find the demographics. Doesn't really say. So the ages are 18 to 29, 30 to 45, 45 to 59, and 60 plus. That just covers everybody under the except for anybody under the age of 18. Where's the stats though? That's what we want. Top line maybe? Okay. Comes to hearings. Top line methodology. So it doesn't say. So the study was conducted in both English and Spanish. Why? But anyway. I find it really, really interesting they're not showing the demographics breakdown. Like, there's no breakdown of demographics at all in this. So, that's obviously a bad sign if they're hiding the demographics. Yeah, I would say that this is very heavily skewed. Also, the fact that they're not showing the demographics as well. Not that I can see anyone. I can't see any links here. Like, where's the demographics? What's this? Methodology, which is roughly what we've already just seen anyway. Yeah, there's no breakdown of demographics in this, guys. Like, to be honest, if you're not going to show the demographics breakdown, I'm going to guess it's a load of crap, to be honest. So, but obviously at the end of the day, the problem is that obviously normal mainstream media, hey Trip, how are you, buddy? So like mainstream media here will, like, or even like the Daily Caller, for example, sorry, will go through and run it, right, without even checking to see demographics or anything like that, right? So that sort of doesn't help the case, because they're just reporting on fake news, to be honest. Unless you can tell me who's Republican, how many are Democrats, you know, the ages and stuff like that, I really am always going to be suspect. And there's nothing mentioning here or in the data set about what ages people are, what party people would vote for. It's an ABC poll, so chances are I think it's going to be pretty much skewed. So, yeah, I would say that this is a lot of crap, this poll, to be honest. I reckon it's fake. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, or in the comments if you're in chat. What do you guys reckon for this? Do you think this is skewed? Like I said, here's the data here. Let's just do a quick search for... Here we go. So it is generally based on a population of 506. Databases, full coverage, delivery in the US is randomly selected. Yeah, sure. Like, they're literally doing the study in English and Spanish. So, you know, you tell me, how many people do you think they're stacking on the Democrat side if they had to do it in Spanish? Like, here's the data here, but it doesn't tell you about percentages. That's where I get concerned. House Democrats, my colleagues are tired, bored, and want to move on from impeachment. I think we all are, to be honest, dude. To be honest, I really, really think we all are. But anyway. Appearing on Fox News Sunday morning features Democrats Representative Jeff Van Drew from New Jersey, who opposes impeachment, revealed some Democrats privately expressing concern about the impeachment inquiry against President Donald Trump. A partial transcript as follows. So Maria says, "Are we expecting an impeachment vote sometime in December? How will you vote?" Jeff says, "I would imagine I'll be voting no. Now, I always have a condila. If there's something new, something we'll have to hear." I think he means he has the right to change his mind. Something that really rises to the level of treason or high crime, that'd be different. But we don't see that. We see little variations, hearsay, discussions that somebody heard something that somebody else said. Impeachment, as you know, on the founding fathers had various debates on whether they would even allow impeachment in the Constitution. If you don't disenfranchise voters, millions up upon votes for voters. Voters choose their leader in America. Barumio, are you hearing from some of your colleagues in some of the states that President Trump won and that they may also vote no? Are you hearing some concerns amongst your colleagues, or even start of a lone wolf in this? I don't know how the other folks will vote, because all in honesty, originally I thought we were going to be a few more. Not that it matters to me if I'm the only one. I'm not 101. I do what I believe is right. There's some discussion among them quietly, privately of concern, especially when I'm hearing out in the streets, is that most people they're kind of, they're worn out. They're already kind of bored. Most folks, they really want to move on unless there's something new and amazing we know by the end of game here. So he's basically saying that the Democrats are sick of it already. They're sick of hearing about it. We do actually have that video. We just suppose we'll play that for you.
I would imagine that I'll be voting no. Now, I always, have a codicil if there's something new, something we haven't heard, something that really rises to the level of treason or, a high crime, that would be different. But we don't see that. We see little different variations, hearsay, discussions. Somebody heard something that somebody else said. Impeachment, you know that our founding fathers had vigorous debates of whether they would even allow impeachment in the Constitution.
Yeah.
You don't disenfranchise voters, millions upon millions of voters.
Yeah.
Voters choose their leaders in America.
And are you hearing from some of your colleagues in some of the states that President Trump won, that they may also vote no? Are you hearing some concern amongst your colleagues, or are you sort of a lone wolf in all of this?
So I don't know how other folks will vote, because in all honesty, originally I thought there were going to be a few more. Not that it matters to me if I'm 1 or I'm 101. I do what I believe is right.
Good for you.
But there is some discussion among some of them, quietly, privately, of concern, certainly. I mean, what I'm hearing out in the street is, with most people, is they're kind of tired, they're kind of worn out, they're kind of bored, most folks. And they really want to move on unless there's something new and amazing. We know the end game here.
And the end game, we heard from Lindsey Graham as well. Congressman Zeldin.
So, yeah. Like, at the end of the day, I would happen to agree with him. I think at the end of the day, this impeachment thing is a load of crap. I think most people are sick of it. Most people don't want to hear about it. I don't even want to cover it on the channel. I obviously do, because it's news and I want to keep you guys informed. But to me, this is all kind of boring shit. It really, really is. But, yeah, moving along. Democrat, obviously, who we just heard from, says he will vote no on impeachment, reveals other Democrat lawmakers quietly, privately concerned about the Schiff's show trial, which we've already just heard. So, look, to be honest, I don't blame him. I'm sick of hearing about it. I imagine everybody else is. So, yeah. Not that surprised, to be honest. So, but yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Are you sick of hearing about this, or at the end of the day, are you like, no, I want to hear about it? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If the video has been helpful, please smack that like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. And apart from that, guys, we'll move on to the next story. So, sorry, that had to be uploaded as a separate video. Alright, so ESPN, Stephen Miller blasts Colin Kaepernick. Don't want to play, he wants to be a martyr. Which is interesting because that's what I've already been saying for a while now. But let's jump into this. So on Saturday, ESPN, Stephen Smith blasted former 69er quarterback Colin Kaepernick over his behaviour on Saturday. So let me get this straight. Colin Kaepernick has been working out all of this time. People on his camp, his loved ones, everyone's talking about he wants to play football. He wants to play football. He's ready to play. Just give him the chance. So what does the NFL do? Recognize that teams need a shield because they need something to hide behind, because they know that. Guess what? If we bring his brother in for workout and we don't like him or we don't want him, who knows what we're going to get accused of? We need cover, so the NFL provides that. After noting that he's sure Jay-Z's is involved, as well as Roger Goldwick, Smith stated. Forget that. This man wanted the chance. 25 teams showed up in Georgia at the Atlanta Falcons practice facility. The state of the facility, the NBA personal equipment, video, everything. What does Kaepernick do? Not Tuesday. When he found out about it, not Wednesday, not Thursday, not Friday, Saturday, 3 hours before the workout because of some issue with liability waiver. So I'm not sure what the actual issue is here. Sounds like some teams tried to get Kaepernick to play, or they tried to give him the opportunity to play. But at the end of the day, it seems like he's had to pull out, quote, because of some technical with a waiver. But he had plenty of opportunity to go through, and let's just play the video.
Get this straight. Colin Kaepernick has been working out all of this time. Him, people in his camp, his close ones, loved ones, everybody talking about he wants to play football. He wants to play football. He's ready to play. Just give him the chance. So what does the NFL do? Recognizing that teams need a shield because they need something to hide behind, because they know that, guess what? If we bring this brother in for a workout and we don't like him or we don't want him, who knows what we're going to get accused of. We need cover. So the NFL provides that. I have no doubt Jay-Z's involved. I have no doubt Roger Goodell is involved. I have no doubt there's a host of people involved, but forget all of that. This man wanted a chance. 25 teams show up in Georgia at the Atlanta Falcons practice facility, state-of-the-art facility, NFL personnel, equipment, everything, video, everything. And what does Colin Kaepernick do? Not Tuesday, when he found out about it. Not Wednesday, not Thursday, not Friday, Saturday. 3 hours before the workout. Because of some issue with a liability waiver. Colin Kaepernick wants to change the venue. Colin Kaepernick wants his own receivers. Colin Kaepernick wants to video things himself. Colin Kaepernick wants the media. This Colin Kaepernick, media can't find him. He ain't done no interviews. He ain't talked to nobody. Media can't find him, but he wants to do it. He wants the media available now. You see, he don't want to play. He wants to be a martyr. But guess what? It ain't working this time. All of us believe that Colin Kaepernick would have showed out. And if he had showed out, I'm here to tell you, I believe he would have had a job inside of 2 weeks. But it didn't happen because he didn't show. He wanted to show up to a high school in Georgia. Not an NFL facility, a high school. And then YouTube it live. Like the average Joe out there gets to decide if he's on the NFL roster. You don't want to work. You just want to make noise. And you want to control the narrative. It's over. Colin Kaepernick's aspiration in the NFL. For an NFL career. It's over. Talk to y'all Monday on First Take.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube.
I would happen to agree with him. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think? But yeah, I would agree. At the end of the day, I think Colin Kaepernick doesn't want to play. I think Colin Kaepernick wants to be a martyr. He wants to be an activist. At the end of the day, I think that's what he wants to do. I don't think he wants to play. I think he's realized that he can have more attention by not actually playing. He can get more attention by going through and being the face of football, so to speak. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Personally, yeah, I'm not surprised he didn't show up. So it sounds like in that, he says that he didn't want to turn up to the NFL's facility, wanted to turn up to a high school. Instead of recording it with a professional team, he wanted to stream it, and it just seems like he's trying to make it overly complicated so that they just say forget it. Because, hey, I'm a victim, right? Because of victim bucks. Well, Kaepernick can't be a victim if they bend over backwards to accommodate him, which is what they did. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, so Kanye West calls himself the greatest artist that God ever created during a church service. Possibly. So all of the lights were on Kanye West as he appeared in Sunday's church service in Houston, and the rapper didn't hold back. The greatest artist that God ever created is now working for him, West said after taking the stage at Lakewood Church alongside Pastor Joe Osteen, according to the Houston News Service KTRK. They're in service to God. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. The hip-hop star, 42, released a Christian album called Jesus is King last month and hosted religious events called Service Sunday on the weekends. God has been calling me for a long time, West told Osteen on Sunday, according to the TV outlet. Hey Ellen, how are you? You finally caught me. It's all good. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm upgrading my home network at the moment, so things are in pieces, but I managed to still go live. So the devil has been distracting me for a long time. West also reportedly refers to Jesus as the only superstar during the Sunday morning service. Look, to be honest, is anybody surprised that Kanye West is calling himself the greatest rapper of all time? Or the greatest artist of all time? Like, it's Kanye West. Come on. Like, nobody's surprised by this, right? You kind of expect Kanye to have a bit of an ego. You know, it is Kanye West after all. And I'm not knocking him for it. I fully expected him to do that. So, yeah. Kanye and Kim were in attendance to Joel Osteen's Sunday service in Houston. His appearance alongside West wasn't West's only memorable moment for the trip to Houston. The artist also stopped by the Chris Harris County Jail on Friday to perform for inmates. In this is a mission, not a show, West said during the visit, according to Harris County Sheriff Ed Gulars. The rapper, of course, has often referenced religion in his music in the past. His song Jesus Walks was on one of his earliest hits, while his album Jesus was controversial upon his releasing it in 2013. Look, do I think this is an act? No, I think he's probably serious. Like, Kanye's always been religious, he just hasn't been overly religious. I think he's sort of getting to the point in his life where he's like, well, hey, I'm 42 now. You know, I'm starting to get on in age. You know, he's starting to reevaluate life goals and stuff like that. And he's like, well, you know, maybe there might be something more to this Jesus. I think that's all it is. You know, you start getting older in life. Reportedly, you supposedly grow up. I can't confirm that. I never have. But at the end of the day, yeah, I just think it's him just reevaluating life because he's getting on in age. That's all it is. So, no, I don't think it's an act. No, I'm not surprised that Kanye West is calling himself the greatest artist that God ever created. I'll be surprised if he didn't. And at the end of the day, I don't really have a problem with it. To be honest, it's Kanye being Kanye. I don't really care. But let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Alright, so. Oh boy, we're going to go with this again, are we? It seems like every chance or every opportunity, there seems to be some scandal that comes out regarding Trump, and they seem to be, I don't know, they just don't seem to hold water. They seem to just fall apart, and it just all seems to be a bunch of white noise and fake news. But hey, don't worry, because this one's totally different than the 300 other scandals that have come out. Possible play-to-play scheme for ambassador role in Trump administration uncovered by CBS News. Okay. What do you do when your impeachment proceeding fails? Divert attention away by claiming there was an ambassador scandal. But let's jump into it. So the CBS News investigation has uncovered a possible play-to-play scheme involving the Republican National Committee and President Donald Trump's nominee for the ambassador to Bahamas. Emails obtained by CBS News show the nominee, Sandy billionaire Doug Manchester, was asked by the RNC to donate $500,000 in his confirmation in the state hung in the balance. Chief Investigative Correspondent Jim Axelrod reports. When Hurricane Dorian ravaged the Bahamas in September, Manchester wanted to help, so the San Diego real estate developer, who prefers the nickname Papa Doug, loaded up his private jet with supplies and headed for a hard-hit Caribbean country where he owned a home and hoped to stop soon to be serving as a US ambassador. A Trump supporter, Manchester donated $1 million to Trump's inaugural fund. He was offered the Bahamas post the day after Trump was sworn in. Manchester said Trump told him, "I should probably be the ambassador to Bahamas. You should probably be president." Then for 2.5 years, Manchester nominated Stoll in the Senate. His Bahama relief trip caught the attention of President Trump. Trump tweeted, "I would also like to thank Papa Doug Manchester, hopefully the next ambassador to Bahamas." To be honest, this seems like it's a big bunch of fake news. Yeah, Ellen, CBS is fake news. Yeah, I would agree. To me, this seems like it's a guy who has a whole stack of money. He has a house in Bahamas. He has some vested interest in the area. He wanted to help out the country, so he threw supplies in his private plane, flew to Bahamas, and Trump probably turned around, noticed he was doing this, thought, hey, this guy wants to be an ambassador for Bahamas. He's helping them out. He's a Republican. Why wouldn't he make him an ambassador by this stage? It seems like it's a win-win for Trump, win for the Republicans, win for Bahamas. When you say things like, for example, play-to-pay or play-to-pay scheme, which, by the way, Hillary Clinton Foundation. Sorry, I had a bit of a cough. But yeah, when you go through and you start talking about pay-to-play, really? You want to go that far? You want to go calling it that? What about Hillary Clinton with the Clinton Foundation? And all of a sudden she becomes irrelevant, and all of a sudden all these countries stop donating money and to the Clinton Foundation. Even Australia got in on that. Even we were giving her money. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Oh boy. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, like I say, yeah, I don't think this is pay to play. I think this is Trump realizing that some guy likes the Bahamas, has some vested interest in the Bahamas, thought, hey, he's doing a good thing for Bahamas. Why not give him this role as ambassador? But anyway, like I say, I think it's a bunch of fake news. But what do you guys reckon in the chat? Alright. So to answer your question there, Ellen, yeah, I have seen the impeachment hearings. We've talked about it a little bit. We just talked about it then. To be honest, it's going nowhere. Nothing's going to happen. The case for impeachment is so weak. But we just covered this before, but we'll talk about it again very quickly. It's like, here it is here. My colleagues are tired, bored, want to move on for impeachment. And this is a Democrat that said this. Like, even the Democrats are sick of it, to be honest. So, I would say you're probably going to get a vote in December, probably mid-December, early December. They're going to come back with no. They're not going to get the numbers anyway. And it's going to be a great big nothing burger. It really, really is. As for the Jeffrey Epstein thing, if you're referring to that Republican senator who put out those 23 tweets that went through and said Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, yeah, I've heard about that. It was funny. That was about 4 days ago, though. It won't pass the Senate. No, I don't think it will either. Yeah. I think it's a lot of crap, to be honest. Like, even their witness, right? Their star witness was like, no, I didn't hear anything myself. I'm running off of hearing other people talk about it, and it's just, it's a mess. It really is a mess. The case is so frigging weak. It is absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, I would say no. Now, of course, obviously, if your impeachment doesn't work, you can always try and go and claim that he made false statements to Robert Mueller. Oh, God, just give it a break, will yous? Oh, Jesus. I don't know anybody else, but I'm just sick of the Democrats and their desperate ploys to sort of derail the Trump administration. Well, the Trump administration was in power for 8 years, and the Democrats, what did we do? Oh, we impeached. And that's it. That's all we really got around to, was impeaching and investigating. Oh, so you work with Trump to, do prison reform. No, don't be silly. Oh, what about, I don't know, did you go through and help, some of the veterans? Oh, God, no, don't be silly. It's a whole bunch of shit. It really, really is. House Democrats have launched an investigation into whether President Donald Trump made false statements in his writing answers to Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Oh my God, I'm so over this. Look, it's a load of crap. At the end of the day, right, they're desperate. They're trying to get him out on everything they can. It is a load of bullshit. This will end up being a big nothing burger that the media can use for the next few weeks to make headlines. And to be honest, I'm that bored of talking about how the Democrats are trying to impeach Trump. We're just going to go on to the next story. Because it's the same shit over and over and over again. Desperate ploys to impeach him on anything they could possibly make up or figure. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's sickening, it's tiring, and they would just be doing so much better if they would actually focus on actually making their own cases for why they should be re-elected. Because, yeah, like, it's so much crap. It really, really is. But let's jump on to the next story. Alright, so Congress demands ABC News James Goldstein explains Epstein cover-up. Oof, this is going to go bad for the ABC News. And speaking of Epstein, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who's a Republican from California, and a pair of other Republican lawmakers are demanding the ABC News explain why it killed a bombshell report on damning allegations against deceased pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. In a letter to ABC News President James Goldstein, McCarthy, House Judiciary Committee Ranking Member Doug Collins, who's also a Republican from GA, I'm not sure where GA is, and the House Foreign Affairs Committee Ranking Member Michael McCulloch, who's Republican from Texas, where they are deeply concerned that the victim in search of justice went to ABC News, provided information and an interview, and then ABC News choose to bury the truth. The letter existence was first reported by journalist Megyn Kelly, who shared it to her Instagram page. McCarthy, Collins, and McCulloch criticized the network for possibly aiding human traffickers and call on Goldstein to turn over the Good Morning America co-host Amy Robach's interview with Epstein accuser Virginia Graffetto. I might be mispronouncing that, by the way. To congressional investigators for review. ABC News initially responds to the subsequent actions, revealed that their priority is to identify and hold accountable the individuals who released the video to the public. The lawmakers write, we believe that uncovering the source of the information is incomparably less important than the future possibility, the possibility of exposing the source of human trafficking operations. That to me is a very good sentence. We're not really worried about your leaker. We're more worried about the fact that you seem to not care about human trafficking. So earlier this month, Project Veritas released an undercover video which Roback is seen telling the producer that witnesses brought information regarding Epstein, which also implicated former President Bill Clinton and Britain's Prince Andrew, but the network squashed its explosive story. I've had this interview with Virginia Guthrie, Roback is explaining, of the alleged Epstein victim. We will not put it on the air. I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is stupid story. The palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways, she continues. I had it all 3 years ago. A clip of Roback's complaint was saved in ABC News' internal video clip library by Ashley Bianco, a then junior producer at the network. Bianco was fired from CBS News, who had aired in recent weeks after Project Veritas published the video. She was vehemently denied leaking the clip or doing anything with it the day after it was recorded. ABC News brass is scrambling to hunt down the staffer behind the leak, even searching through employees' inboxes and conducting interrogations, according to the New York Post page 6. Project Veritas says the source still works for ABC News. Oh boy. It's funny, you know, if it had been a Trump administration leaker, they would have been giving the guy a medal. But because it's one of their leakers, oh my god, we're literally going to go through and conduct something that is similar to the Inquisition. Work that one out. So McCarthy sends a letter to ABC demanding information on Killer Epstein's story. So House Majority Leaker Kevin McCarthy sent a letter on Sunday to ABC News demanding answers surrounding the allegations. It's pretty much everything that we just read. So this Epstein story is not quite dead yet. I must admit, I'm impressed. I thought it would have been gone by now. I thought they would have tried to bury it as soon as they can. But it seems like the Republicans are well behind the idea of pushing it. We're to the point where we actually have Republicans sending out 23 tweets who are also going through, and if you look at the first letter of each of the start of the tweets, it spells out Epstein didn't kill himself. Let me see if I can find a video news article. Here it is here. So this is a few days old, but it's relevant to what we're talking about, so we can talk about it. So Representative Paul Goshra's tweets spells out a conspiracy theory. No, really. Is it really a conspiracy theory? Oh, I don't know. In what instance is it no longer a conspiracy theory against Epstein and more of a conspiracy theory that it's actually against the mainstream media who doesn't believe it? Like, for example, right, you've got two people, two camps. The deep state, the military industrial complex, the media. They're all the same, aren't they? But yeah, the media going through claiming that Epstein's death was suicide. You have everybody else practically under the sun literally saying, no, we don't believe this. You're full of, you know what, his death is completely conspicuous. Now, the mainstream media is calling everybody who's looking into Epstein or thinks Epstein's death is not suicide. They like to think of him as a conspiracy theorist. But the fact is that the media claiming that Epstein killed himself, they're actually the minority, see ya. The majority of people, I would imagine, actually believe that something suspect is actually going on when it comes to Epstein. In fact, Don Jr. was even asked about this, and I am scrambling to find the clip. I saw this earlier today. So I can't use my account. I was on GamersCafe, the other account. Donald Jr. Trump, maybe? He was in a interview, like a radio interview. And they asked him about Epstein. Very quickly trying to find it for you guys, because what he said was really interesting. Here it is here. Right, got it. So, let's talk about this.
Do you really think Epstein killed himself?
It's funny because this is one of those things, if whatever I say, it's a lose, right? But, man, there's a lot of coincidence there.
Yes.
When I see, I'm not going to say yes or no, but, a guy who's there, he's magically then, within hours of being, off of suicide watch, the 2 cameras that are on him happen to go out. The 2 guards just happen to... Man, it seems like a lot of coincidence. They try to make Epstein, they tried to make it about Trump. They don't talk about, like, the 45 times, Clinton's at the island with him, with, they...
So just on that, I think it was actually like 28, not 40 something times. So I'm gonna fact check Donald Jr. I know he was speaking hyperbole, but he was wrong. And I think it was actually 6 cameras, not 2. I think there was 2 in his cell. There was some in the hallway that also don't supposedly work. I think there was actually 6 cameras in total.
Say, well, he met Trump at a cocktail party one time. Look, we got you. I'm like,
didn't your dad boot him out of the?
Yeah,
out of the
he
place?
was literally thrown out of Mar-a-Lago because of some of the rumors and all of this stuff. So, and that's the problem. The news cycle, whether it's Ukraine. Like, I've been talking. Like, go look at my stump speeches. Like, I've been talking about Ukraine and the corruption there and all that nonsense for like a year. You know when it got mainstream media pickup? When they could make it about Trump. Epstein. It's been a problem for a long time. This has been like a de facto thing. Whether, Matt Lauer at NBC, all these things are, they've been in the rumor. When you can somehow try to make it about Trump, or when they're no longer in power to be able to do your bidding, that's when it becomes news. And so, they don't talk about those things. They only become news when you can somehow use it as a way to own Trump, and we got him. And so, it's a problem.
So that was actually Trump Jr. on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Ellie is also saying it was on Fox News as well, so he might have also been talking about it on Fox News. But that's the clip I saw there. Look, at the end of the day, I think he was very careful what he said and what he didn't say. Because at the end of the day, yeah, it's... You know, this is how people go missing. You know, start talking about this sort of stuff. So at the end of the day, look, I like the fact that he brought it up. I like the fact that Donald Jr. mentions it and talks about it. I like the fact that he alluded to the fact that he thinks it was a load of, you know what, him killing himself. I just don't think he obviously can go through and actually say anything. Even if he did know, which I don't think he does. You need to be louder. Oh, sorry to hear that, guys. My microphone's all the way up. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day that I don't think Donnie Jr. thinks it's Trump killed himself. Epstein killed himself. Barely hear you. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I have been playing around with my desk and moving things around, so maybe it's the microphone. I'll have a look at it afterwards. I can't do anything at the moment, but yeah, after the show I'll have a look. As for, Ellen also has a very good point. She talks about the coroner. So the coroner that went through and actually did the autopsy for Epstein, he's a well-renowned autopsy person, coroner. He even suspected that Epstein didn't commit suicide. He said that the breaking of the neck bones was more into line with... Okay, so Sister Ellen, she just needs to turn her there. Basically he's saying that at the end of the day, he was saying that the breaks in the neck bones and stuff like that generally are consistent with strangulation and not murder. And this guy's a well-respected coroner, so 3 places, yeah. So there's a lot of interesting facts that came out regarding Epstein's committed suicide, brackets. I don't think he did. I'll tell you now, the high road bone, that's it. At the end of the day, I think he was killed. I think he was killed because he knew too much. He knew who was involved in his little scandal. He had all the names. And I think at the end of the day, they tried to silence him because they were concerned. And yeah, I really honestly do believe. I would not be surprised in the slightest if Epstein was killed. I would be more surprised if he did commit suicide. But yeah. Look, I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I don't know. I just like the fact that they go on and they're trying to make it out. They're trying to make it out that Epstein conspiracy is, it's just... Who honestly believes him killed himself at this stage? Like, come on, really? I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, illegal alien allegedly killed a Vietnam vet the day before Veterans Day. We might record this. Illegal alien allegedly killed Vietnam vet day before Veterans Day. An illegal alien living in Pennsylvania is accused of killing a Vietnam War veteran the day before Veterans Day, according to law enforcement officials. Nemes Perez Sanfrito, it's a nice American name he has there, a 31-year-old illegal alien from Mexico, is accused of killing Samuel Jackson, a disabled 69-year-old who served as a Marine in the Vietnam War. The day before Veterans Day this year in Northington, Pennsylvania, according to the Montgomery County District Attorney General's office. On November 10, police said Savini was driving drunk when he hit and killed Jackson before fleeing the scene of the accident. According to court records obtained by CBS Philly, the illegal alien had been drinking for 5 hours by a nearby bar before the fatal crash. So it's not like he's deliberately gone out and killed him. It sounds like it was a hit and run. But yeah. Also, previously deported illegal alien accused of killing a father in 3 drunk hit and runs. A previously deported and released illegal alien is accused of killing a father of 3 daughters in a drunk driving hit and run crash in upstate New York. So this is another one. Profebo Perez Venezuela, a 31-year-old illegal alien from Guatemala, hit and killed a 59-year-old Mark Cap in Weed Spot, New York on November 10, according to the Canyon County Sheriff's Office. Police said Kabak was driving his tractor to get it to where Perez was drunk driving and hit the father of 3. Kabak was a retired electrician and belonged to the local IBEW, I don't know what that is, Local 43 Union. Kabak police said he was thrown from the tractor and died. Kabak leaves behind his wife, Sharon Harrop, and as well as their 3 daughters, Samantha Carup, Caitlin Carup, and Christy Somberg, and his grandson, Kobe. So, quite a tragic story there. He said, in 50 years of being a coroner, he's never seen a suicide where the hollow bone was broken in 3 places. Okay, that's cool, yeah. I heard something like that. I don't know. Epstein, yeah, like, come on. Does anybody actually think he killed himself? Right. So, while we're talking about immigration, obviously pre-research in 6 in 11 Americans want more deportations of illegal aliens. So a majority of Americans say they want to see more deportations of illegal aliens and increased security along the United States-Mexico border, a new survey finds. The latest pre-research center survey reveals that nearly 70% of all Americans believe increasing security at ports US-Mexico border is very or somewhat important, including more than 90% of Republican voters. Another 54% of Americans said that more deportations of the nation's 11 million to 22 million illegal alien population is very or somewhat important. Republican voters, by a majority of 83%, said increasing deportations of illegal aliens is important ahead of the 2020 presidential election, because that's how the Democrats sway elections. Finding these comes as President Trump's administration has contracted less than 80 miles thus far of the border wall along the southern border, although the office has reportedly said hundreds of miles of construction is on its way. For almost a year, the Trump administration has promised that 500 miles of the border wall will have been completed before next year's election in November, but that's not exactly because of Trump, is it? That's the Democrats stalling as much as they can. Over the last few months, Trump has surged to the total number of deportations of illegal aliens by more than 450%. For example, between August and October, federal immigration officials deported more than 2,500 illegal aliens who arrived as a family unit at the southern border and have final orders for removal. Compare these numbers to that financial year of 2018, when ICE deported 2,711 who had arrived at family units at the border wall for the entire year. So they've deported more in August to October, almost, than in the whole year. Okay, sorry to hear that, Ellen. Maybe your headset's busted or something, maybe? Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, yeah, that's obviously great news. I think a lot of people generally want to go through and deport these illegal aliens. I don't think this is a wild, controversial theory. or anything like that, don't forget to like the video. Yes, please don't forget to like the video, guys, because there's no way these videos get shared by YouTube. So deporting every illegal alien in the country would amount to cost savings of about $622 billion over the course of a lifetime. This indicates that deporting illegal aliens is 6 times less costly than what it costs American taxpayers to currently subsidize the millions of illegal aliens living in the US. I think regardless of the cost, you should deport illegal aliens. So it amounts to saving of about $622 billion over the course of a lifetime. So it's 6 times less costly than what it costs taxpayers to subsidise. But yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you think that we should go through and deport more people, or the US should deport more people? Or are you part of the 5 out of 11 who say no? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, so Democrat Indian mayor arrested by FBI and alleged corruption probe. So the Democrat mayor of Menasque, Indiana, was arrested on Monday morning by the FBI in conjunction with multiple corruption charges. I can affirm the arrest warrant was executed at the home of Mayor Dennis Tyler this morning and is currently in custody. Christian Beleva, spokesman for the FBI, told the Minister Press. So it's not immediately clear what charges Tyler is facing. Tyler has served as Minich mayor since 2012, Wish reported. Democrat mayor did not run for re-election this year, and his term in office ends in December 31st. So the FBI agents have concluded an investigation into allegations of corruption. So that's very vague. So apparently it has to do with allegations against Craig Nichols, the city's building commissioner. Last January, the judge sentenced Nichols to 2 years in federal prison for wire fraud and money laundering. So, yeah, that's an interesting thing. But yeah, another Democrat bites the dust, I suppose. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. So, one more story? No. Oh no, we've still got a few more. We're gonna shoot through these a little bit, guys. Because they're not really big news. It's just more like, you know, pop icon sort of stuff. But yeah. So, obviously, at the end of the day, Prince Harry applauds Greta Thunberg. Whole world is paying attention. Oh, we certainly are, but not with the way you're thinking. Prince Harry lavished praise and affection on climate activist Greta Thunberg last Sunday night, saying every family needs their Greta, as he claimed the whole world is paying attention. Paying attention to her efforts. Harry took the stage of the on-site awards at the Royal Albert Hall in London to make his gushing tribute. It was his final public appearance before him and his wife, Meghan, take a break from their royal duties and fly across the Atlantic for an extended 6-week holiday in America. To be honest, who cares what he thinks? Am I surprised? No. Look, at the end of the day, the royal family is very left-wing. Repatriating the illegals. But yeah, I'm not surprised. He's leveraging praise on her. His political agenda suits, so not surprised. So, fiery reaction after Israel Foral links Australian bushfires to same-sex marriage. It's not exactly right, but we'll jump into it. Israel Foral caused widespread backlash After his latest explosive comments in the Australian bushfires, now God has spoken. Sacked Wallaby star Israel Foral claimed the bushfires have devastated Australia and left 6 dead are God's punishment for legalising abortion and the same-sex marriage, has sparked furious reaction. Dumped by Rugby Australia after warning homosexuals and other sinners that they will go to hell unless they repent. It's not exactly what happened. He shared a meme, that's what it was. That was on Instagram, I believe. The picture, which was a meme, had it was talking about people that go to hell. Homosexuals was mentioned, but it was also adulterers, people that drink, fornicators, people that cheat. Yeah, there was a whole wide range of different people that were mentioned. And of course, the media only cared about the homosexuals, but you know. Fella has doubled down on this on the stance in a video sermon posted to the Truth of Jesus Christ Church, Sydney. During the 10-minute recording, the 30-year-old says that the timing of the bushfires is no coincidence, but only a taste of God's judgment should nothing change. I've been looking around the events that's been happening in Australia this past couple of weeks, and with all the natural disasters, the bushfires and drought, he said. He then reads the book of Isla in the Bible. The earth is defiled by its people. They have disobeyed the laws, violated the statutes, and broke the everlasting covenant. Therefore, a curse consumes the earth. Its people must bear their guilt. Therefore, earth inhabitants are burnt up, and a very few left. At the end of the day, look, I don't agree with what he has to say. To be honest, I think it's kind of disgusting that he would try and blame the bushfires on homosexuality or LGBT or same-sex marriage or whatever. I get his argument, but I don't think it's right. But that said, I think he has a right to say it. Like, I think he had a right to post that original meme. I might like what you have to say, but I'm gonna protect your right to say it, and that's what matters. So I really do think the media they're going after him because he's Christian. You know, like, the fact is that there's been other Australian sporting stars that have said similar things. Anthony Mundine, for example, and people who listen to NPR read the Washington Post. Yeah, so you guys don't have to read it. But Anthony Mundine, for example, has said the same sort of things. But at the end of the day, you know, he's Muslim, so he was fine. He didn't really have much of a backlash. So, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, I think him being a Christian is half the problem, and I think they're just going after him because they just don't like him. He said some things against homosexuality, and, you know, hey, at the end of the day, we can go through and we can criticize him, and we can take shots, and we can sell papers, and it's a whole bunch of crap. It really, really is. I think by giving him more attention, you're going to make him say other stuff. Look, I think he has a right to say it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I think the media is hyping it up. And that's what I have to say about it. Because let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section regarding that. Do you think at the end of the day that he is just hyping this up? Or do you think at the end of the day that he's just, yeah? Let me know what your thoughts are. Alright, so this video will probably get taken down, so like it while you can. Anti-Trump CIA whistleblower Eric Kamel spoke with Lieutenant Cole Vinderman and is still attending White House meetings. Yep, I said his name because I'm not afraid to. So the liberal mainstream media is reporting that whistleblower Eric Coleman was working with shift witnesses Lieutenant Cole Anderson Vinderman in plotting the latest attempt coup of the president. According to Washington Post, Eric Kamel worked late in his cubicle at the CIA headquarters for 2 weeks before submitting his complaint against President Trump. During that same period, Kamel, who was not on the Trump-Zelensky call, was meeting with Adam Schiff's office in planning the attack on the US president. It's always interesting when you get Schiff saying that he's never met this whistleblower. Okay, what about your staffers? And now what's once rumoured to be upon true, the Lieutenant Colonel Alex Venderman was speaking with Kamel, and he's maybe his source for the latest attack on the president. This information was leaked by the CIA plotters to their comrades in the Washington Post. The whistleblower, who was complained about President Trump's communications with Ukraine, launched a House impeachment proceeding, is still attending White House meetings recently, and may have spoken to Lieutenant Colonel Anderson Vinderman prior to filing the complaint, according to the Washington Post. On Saturday, the outlet published details about the steps of the CIA analyst to take a blow at the whistle after the president urged Ukraine President during the 25th phone call to start an investigation into former Vice President Joe Biden. Look, to be honest, am I surprised that this guy is like a CIA operative? No. Do I think he was a Obama handover? Sure. Do I think he's a Democrat supporter? Yep. Do I think that this whole investigation and impeachment into Trump is a load of crap? Pretty much. But, yeah, it is what it is. It'll all come out in the wash. Yeah. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Alright, so, teacher defends drag queen at school, condemns bigoted parents. So, a teacher reportedly defends the presence of a drag queen during a high school class with a Facebook post in which he asserts the parents who objected are bigoted and should not have their final say in raising their own children. English teacher Anthony Lane of Willis Independent School District, or WISD, High School in Texas, reportedly removed his Facebook post in which he defended another teacher's decision to host a drag queen at the high school's cosmetology class to offer makeup tips. Lane sharply criticized the parents who complained about the drag queen's presence without their knowledge. This screenshot reportedly shows Lane posting on October 26th that he is both a parent and a teacher. Our society is very sensitive when it comes to criticizing parents and teachers, and are often afraid of parents because they give so much authority, he reports. I think at the end of the day, if you're going to go through and claim that someone is just a bigot because they complain about a drag queen teaching children, it's just a cop-out. It really, really is. If you have a decent excuse, I'm all for it. But just claiming that they're bigoted, it's a cop-out. It really, really is. Guys, let me know your thoughts are in the comment section below. White House official sues Politico, conspired with Schiff to leak false info to further impeachment inquiry. Yeah, we might record this one too, actually. White House officials sue Politico, conspired with Schiff to leak false info to further impeachment inquisition. So, House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, Democrat, California, acted in concert with Politico to leak allegedly false information from the impeachment inquiry as a part of a scheme to advance the inquisition against President Donald Trump, according to an explosive defamation lawsuit filed by a senior Trump White House official on Monday. The White House official, Chris Patel, who is a senior counterterrorism official on the National Security Council, or NSC, filed the lawsuit in Virginia court, which he says that Schiff weaponized the media to advance his impeachment agenda. It's not like this is the first time we saw this. The P dossier and Yahoo News, for example. Patel is a former staffer to the top Republican on the House Intelligence Committee, Representative Damon Newmans, who later moved to the White House and the NSC to advise the president on national security intelligence matters. I'm not surprised they're doing it, to be honest. What I imagine is Adam Schiff wanted to bring up something in court or in this case, this investigation, so he needed them to report on it. Look, at the end of the day, is it bullshit? Yeah, it's secular logic. Am I surprised? Not really, because I've seen them doing this before. Like I said, they did it with Yahoo News when they were going around and talking about the P dossier. It's nothing new, really, to be honest. So, yeah, not really surprised about that at all. So, Christine Bussey Ford from Kavanaugh's hearing accepts Courage Award from ACLU. Yeah, we'll record this one too, actually. Doing my duty as a citizen, Christine Bussey Ford accepts Courage Award from the ACLU. Kavanaugh accuser Christine Bussey Ford accepted an award for courage from the American Civil Liberties Union on Saturday. The ACLU honoured Ford, who accused Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault, with the Roger Bowen Courage Award at the ACLU of Southern California's Bill of Rights dinner. Ford works as a professor of psychology at Palo Alto University, according to Huffington Post. When I came forward last September, I did not feel courageous, Ford said Sunday. I was simply doing my duty as a citizen. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds very suspect to me. If I was sexually molested by somebody, for example, I wouldn't refer to as calling them out as doing my duty. This sounds like she was a Democrat operative who was doing her duty to try and debunk Kavanaugh. And look, we know at the end of the day that her lawyer has come out and admitted that she was influenced by politics. Like, the girl that can't remember where it happened, when it happened, what time it happened, can't remember how she got there, all these sort of irrelevant facts that she can't seem to remember. Wow, imagine my shock. Yeah, I believe she's full of shit. I really, really do. I do find it weird that these sort of people that seem to call out the Republicans, especially when the Republicans are in power, always seem to get awards. But last story for the day. So, emails. Open Society kept alleged whistleblower Eric Kamala updated on George Soros's personal Ukraine activities. So, Eric Kamala, who Real Clear Investigation suggests is the likely so-called whistleblower, received emails about the Ukraine policy from top director at the George Soros Open Society Foundation. The emails informed Kamala and a handful of other Obama administration foreign policy officials about Soros's whereabouts, the content of Soros's private meetings about Ukraine, and further meeting the billionaire's activist was holding with the Prime Minister of Ukraine. It seems like George Soros is involved in this Ukraine scandal. Big surprise. But yeah, guys, it's basically going to be the show for the day. Sorry if I was a little half-assed today. I've got a lot on my mind. I have a network that's in pieces. I could actually probably show you guys. So I'm actually going to turn on my webcam just to show you guys. Don't worry, you won't be able to see me. Video capture. So I have to shut down the raccoon. Okay. So that's my wall, and I'm very careful not to tilt it to me. But yeah. There it is there. You can see all the wires actually hanging out the back of her. Let me... There you go. So there's all the wires there. That's my network at the moment. It's literally looking a lot like that. So... yeah. It's on its side. You have to sort of tilt the image. But you get the idea. Yeah, that's all you get. Apart from that, guys, obviously at the end of the day, this will be the show for the day. But yeah, apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I will see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Obviously, I'll try and upload some of these to Nonpartisan Media today. But apart from that, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. And hopefully we'll be back up and running tomorrow with preferably wires not hanging out of my wall like we just saw. Apart from that, guys, enjoy yourselves, have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.